Hi, I'm Natasha Ryan with Premier Risk Solutions, and we are starting our brand new video series, Strong, Safe, and True. And for the very first one, we have Doug Hicks, a security specialist, one of our people. And the point of this series is to make sure companies and their employees feel safe from the time they wake up to the time they get home. And Doug, I want to talk a little bit about what makes you an expert on security. Talk a little bit about your law enforcement days for us.
I was a law enforcement officer for a decade, working the streets, investigations, patrol, all kinds of fun stuff. I was a defensive tactics instructor, firearms range officer, and then I was a professional lecturer at a state law enforcement academy for 5 years as well.
Okay, and you also are very versed in martial arts. In fact, you train people at Eastside Combatives, and this morning you are here to train us. So let me pull up your PowerPoint. Doug has actually created this PowerPoint presentation, and it's condensed for us this morning because we don't have time, but he is available to do this at your business if you'd like a more in-depth training. And this morning, I thought we'd start on this first series with personal safety, right? Because that's the very first nuance that everyone should have a handle on, right? Is how to handle yourself. So Doug, first of all, again, the name here of your presentation is vigilance, turn on and tune in. So tell us, what exactly does vigilance mean?
Vigilance to me is a state of being. It's a state of awareness that we can create within ourselves that allows us to go about our daily routine, but maintain that vigilance, a state of what's going on around me, what's happening in my environment, who's in my environment, what are the actions that are going on, is it safe, am I safe? Is there anything dangerous or uncertain out there that I need to be particularly or specifically aware of so that I can continue to be safe all day for myself
like
and those around.
That gut feeling, maybe? Does your gut play into it?
That's intuition, and intuition is a very important sense. It's a sixth sense, and we all have it. It's not just women's intuition, like a lot of people have said in the past.
We're just better at it.
We all have that intuition, and we can all rely on it. And if we learn to listen to it, it is really powerful and really strong.
And for someone that maybe is like, oh, I don't know, mine isn't that developed, they can certainly, anyone can develop those skills, right? Of getting those like bells and alarms internally.
Yeah, I call it turning on and tuning in. And it just means that you take time to take a couple of breaths and make sure you're fully awake and aware. You've had your cup of coffee in the morning or your 2 cups of coffee in the morning, whatever it is you need. And when you leave your house, when you walk out that door, you're ready to deal with anything that comes your way.
If I'm going to my front door, what is the very first thing I should do when I open it?
Stop.
Okay.
Look and listen. Stop, look and listen. See, listen. Is there anything out there that doesn't belong there? Is there anything out of the ordinary? Are there people around? Are there noises around? Is something happening that is not normal for your environment? And that's called establishing a baseline. You need to be aware of and know what is normal and what the baseline is at your home, at your office, at your favorite restaurant. What goes on in those places that makes it normal, where you're comfortable, and what is out of the ordinary that sparks your attention and that draws you to, so that you can say, hey, this isn't quite right. I need to pay more attention to this and find out if there's any danger or anything going on here.
And when you and I were talking, it made me laugh because, of course you look around, you listen, but you also said smell.
Yep. Animals use smell all the time. A dog, a cat, wild animals, they smell danger. And we can literally smell some forms of danger as well. Smoke is a good one. Poison is another one. A chemical release in your office complex, you're walking down the hall and it's like, oh, what is that? That smells really weird. We had one at work not long ago. It was an electrical burn. So we discovered that an entire machine had burned out electrically. So as soon as we walked in the door, we could smell that. So smell is another important sense to utilize. My
dog is actually hearing something in the background as we speak. I don't know if you heard him piping into our presentation here. Okay, Doug, now what are some of, you say if anything's out of the ordinary, give us an example. Like if you're walking out the door, you look up the street, like give us an example of something that shouldn't be.
A person that you've never seen before. What are they doing there? Are they hanging around, looking in vehicles? Are they hanging around in an area that isn't lit up very well? Is there a big van parked next to your car that you've never seen before? Just anything that doesn't match. I always
Doesn't
look at,
feel right.
yeah, I know who all my neighbors are. I know what vehicles they drive. I know when there's one parked next to me that I've never seen before, and I'll check out the license plate. I'll look in the windows just to make sure it's safe before I walk between my car and it and get in my car to drive away.
Now, you gave an example previously when we've had one of our many talks about if let's say you're just out, right? Because we want to talk about office safety parking lot, but we value everyone's personal time too. So let's say someone goes into a bar and is dancing on the dance floor, everyone's having a great time. You often give an example of what to look out for in that kind of scenario.
Yeah, wherever you go, you need to establish the baseline. What is normal? People are hanging out, they're having a drink, they're laughing, they're singing with the band, they're dancing. That's normal. And then all of a sudden, somebody walks through the front door, maybe a couple of guys, and their clothing doesn't fit, their demeanor doesn't fit, they're not happy, they're checking things out, they're walking around, and they just feel odd, they feel off. Those are people that you need to pay attention to. And when you've entered that bar, not only have you established your baseline, but you know where your escape routes are. You know what weapons of opportunity might be available. You know where there's cover if gunshots ring out and it becomes an active shooter situation, so you can dive for cover. All of those things are important when you're out in public, no matter where it is.
And Doug, what kind of things should you have on you on hand to help kind of navigate a situation?
That's an interesting question because I really tell people whatever it is that you carry, you have to be trained in it. Whether it's pepper spray or a baton or a firearm, don't just go buy something and pretend that you're trained in it and you know what to do with it. You have to be trained properly. Pepper spray is a good one because it allows you to maintain distance between you and the subject without having to go hands-on. Firearm is only good in lethal encounters, so it's very limited in its usefulness, even though a lot of people in the United States think that it's the prime tool for self-defense. So whatever it is, know how to use it, know what it is, know what its limitations are, and know the laws around it.
And I would assume also, if I'm in a parking lot and it's dark and I see something out of the ordinary, it's probably important too to know your own limitations, right? Can I handle this if I see something, or should I just go back inside and get help?
Yes, and that reminds me, another great tool is a small, tactical flashlight, which just means a really one handheld, super bright flashlight that you can carry in your hand if you're going out into an area that's not very well lit. Around a car in a parking lot, that type of thing. I carry one to the beach. So, but yes, being able to assess your environment inside and outside the parking lot. Is someone watching you? Are they really tracking you? So you had a question another day. What do you do if you see someone in the parking lot and you're on your way to your vehicle? It's like, well, stop, pull your cell phone out, pretend you're calling somebody. If they continue on their way and get in their vehicle and drive off, then you know there was no danger. But if they slow down and they stop with you and they're tracking you, then head back toward the building. They may turn around and head back toward the building as well. Now you know something is really out of place. So go back in, call for security, ask for an escort, call the police, wait for your friend to come out so you leave and go out to the parking lot together. All kinds of options you have available to you.
Doug, where do you draw the line between being super paranoid and being just vigilant and smart?
Vigilance and being vigilant is about empowering yourself. It's about being confident, about knowing your environment, how to deal with situations, getting proper training. That's all about being vigilant. Paranoia is the flip side of that, of going into fear and being afraid and still being a victim, but not really knowing how to handle situations or what to do in situations. That's the big difference to me. One is empowering and you know what you're doing and how to do it. And the other one is just being afraid.
Always power in knowledge. Well, Doug, thank you so much. And I want to say, you know, Doug could do these presentations in a lengthier format for your company through Premier Risk Solutions and other services we offer. We do risk assessments, workplace violence mitigation. Of course, we offer security personnel on site. So if you have any of those needs, you can contact me, Natasha Ryan. There's my phone number, email, and you can always visit our website, premierrisksolutions.com. And I hope you do continue to go to our website, because we are going to continue to have conversations like this. And Doug, once again, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Natasha Ryan. Remember to stay strong, safe, and true.